You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump. Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm so sorry, but that game was so boring. Hello and welcome back to the podcast. I hope you're doing well, and I hope that you can tell by the sheer enthusiasm in my voice how excited I am that we were able to clutch up a 2-1 victory over the great footballing side that is LASK. I mean, 7-1, wow. You know, LASK should win the bloody Ballon d'Or for the goal they bloody scored, and we somehow beat them. United are amazing. Woo! Give Jesse Lingard a new contract. Grealish who? Van de Beek who? We don't need a number 10. Jesse's here. He was amazing today. No, but for real, it was a great game. Well, actually, it was a pretty boring game, but honestly, I genuinely am struggling to remain enthusiastic. You know, your boy is very tired. It's been a very busy day, and United didn't make my didn't contribute to my energy levels. In fact, they did contribute, just negatively, not positively. But what do you guys what do you guys think of the game? You know, was there any thoughts?
Yeah, I was telling Malota before we recorded that the game as a whole was quite shite, to be honest. But I think in terms of specific players and certain points, there were interesting points to me. I'm not really mad because obviously we won the game, but I am kind of disappointed that some of these players, they are second team players, and as a second team player, you should be looking to perform and push for first team, and I just didn't really see that from most of them.
I mean, let's be fair here. Like, let's I heard someone saying, let's call the chips where they fall and let's call a spade a spade. Yeah, let us call a spade a spade. Some of these players haven't played in 5 months. Like, people are acting like these men, should have annihilated LASK, and they probably should have. But, like, this was the same team that beat Astana 4-0 at home. So, I think with the proper run of games, the results would have been very different tonight. Well, actually, not the result, but maybe the performance would have been very different. I think the only people in that team who actually played bar Maguire was Fosu Mensah, and even he only had like 2 games. It was Palace and West Ham, if I'm not mistaken. So Fosu Mensah, Williams, they kind of played a few games. Lingard didn't really play. Like, let's be honest, Lingard didn't really play since the return of football. Pereira hasn't touched the field. Like, he hasn't actually touched the field since today. Mata hasn't touched the field since today. Ikalo hasn't really touched the field, if we're being honest, since today. Eric Bailly was injured in the one game that he actually came on, where he suffered 3 head blows. So when you look at it, actually, and Romero was a bit rusty against Norwich, actually nearly cost us the bloody FA Cup. It wouldn't have mattered because we got knocked out anyways. But he nearly cost us the bloody FA Cup against Norwich by conceding that goal. So everyone except Maguire in that team had not played, really, if we're being completely honest, and Williams. So it looked like a preseason friendly to me, and that's the way I treated it. That's the way I will judge it. I know everybody disagrees, because Mandem, like Fred and McTominay, were disappointing.
Yeah, look, ironically enough, I think the players you've mentioned that haven't played in a while were quite decent today. But yeah, the game as a whole was very dull. And in terms of how we played and the energy levels, I think they were great. The tempo was at a decent level. But yeah, the final ball, like, it seemed like there was a lack of quality today, which is a bit worrying. And as you say, maybe these players haven't played in a while, so you don't want to think too much into it. But it is a bit worrying because it shows the frailties we have in sort of a second team. And it just makes you think, next year, if we were saying like a Liverpool, it's 1-1, and we need players to come into the pitch, there's no confidence that any of these players can come on and make a difference, really. And I feel like we need to work on getting like-for-like replacements. And if they're not like-for-like, maybe similar, people who can make a difference. Like, get someone who can come in for Pogba who's quite creative and can make a difference. Maybe bring a little bit of a different spark, but still similar. When you have Fred and McTominay coming on after today, like, geez, my life. There's no final goal. The quality.
My boy had the Roy Keane turn there. Fred and McTominay, jeez, my life.
Now let him back in the bus.
Yeah,
how's he swinging bloody punches, McTominay?
Yeah. Oh. So when you look at it like that, it is a bit worrying. And yes, we're buying players like Sancho, which is great. But then if Bruno gets injured and we have, I'm sorry to use this word, you have this rubbish coming onto the pitch, then I'm sorry, then we're back at square one.
But
Yes, shit.
like, guys, we were 14 points of third with this team, guys. Where have you been? If it wasn't for Bruno Fernandes, we'd be in eighth. Like, guys, this is obvious. Like, we know this. Like, some United fans really, you know, and I'm not talking to you specifically. I'm just talking to anyone who might be listening to the show. Like, I'm guessing you have nothing better to do with your evening, and I'm sorry on your behalf that your life is so sad that you have to listen to us after that boring, the disappointment of a game.
The
But
team is dead for
like, yeah, like this is the team. This is what we've been dealing with. This is exactly why Bruno Fernandes was such a big signing, and this is exactly why I love Bruno Fernandes more. I don't even know, fam, and more than I even love myself sometimes, because he made this team watchable. You remove Bruno Fernandes from this team, and we are not making third. Rashford can score all the free kicks he wants and all the penalties he wants. Martial can dribble past all the defenders he wants. We are not making third without Bruno Fernandes, or a player like Bruno Fernandes at least, you know. So yeah. It's I don't know if this is quite the reality check, because at the end of the day, Fred and McTominay were actually contenders. Well, Fred, not McTominay, was actually a contender for player of the season at some point. So we know Fred struggles every time there's a break. Like, that's no secret. We know Fred will be fine after 10 or 11 or like 1,000 games. But with McTominay, it's the only reason I'm calm with McTominay is because he's a young player. I say this all the time. He's young. He's going to be inconsistent. And it's very unprecedented time, so I don't expect him to deal with it well. And I see all people on Twitter freaking out about McTominay. I'm like, you guys are trying to justify McTominay or trying to justify the argument that Fred is better than McTominay. You should be ashamed of yourself, because if Fred is so good and he couldn't show it today, don't you think that is a huge red flag considering his age compared to McTominay? Like, do people not realize that Fred is not going to get any better as his career progresses on? Like, he's on the wrong side of 25. He's in his prime at the moment, by most people's definition, or at least by my definition. Most players are in their prime around the age of 26 and 27. They don't get any better. Not everybody's a Zlatan, where they just keep growing and finding ways to adapt and evolve. That's why players tend to move on when they turn 30. To slower leagues. And so all these people on Twitter who are like, Fred this, Fred that, how is McTominay not getting dropped? McTominay's a young player who still has to learn, Baba. Like comparing Fred to him it's comical to me, because my response is like, exactly. Like you think Fred being better than McTominay is a good thing. He should be better than McTominay. He should be a more experienced player. And the fact that you're so bothered about proving it in a Twitter thread is concerning. Like, it's just really concerning. That's the way I choose to look at it anyways. But, you know, nobody cares what I think.
You kind of feel sorry for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and, like, understand why he was doing so bad at the start of the season, because he had these players in that midfield. I'm sorry.
Well, I said it to Shoni as well. I sent Shoni a message. This is why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't drop players. I mean, doesn't... Yeah, actually, this is why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't drop his first team. This is why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't play a weak team at Wembley, because we would have been humiliated by Chelsea if these guys had stepped out onto the field. And I don't care what you say as a United fan. Like, every United fan in hindsight can be like, yeah, well, it didn't matter. It's the FA Cup. Oh, shut up. When we're 5-0 down to Chelsea, you know very well. You'll be cringing at that TV screen thinking, what the hell? You know, like, nobody would have been fine if we were 5-0 down to Chelsea at Wembley. Like, we would have all been upset, regardless of whether the FA Cup mattered or not. So, you know. But yeah, player ratings, I guess. Yeah. Dead game.
Not much to talk about, really.
Yeah, Romero out of 10.
I wasn't going to give it to him, but I actually am. Straight off the bat, Romero is going to be my man of the match. I'm going to give Romero a 7.
That's
I think
sad. That's
sad. That goal, you couldn't do anything about it. You could have Oblak, De Gea, Ter Stegen. You could have all three of them at the same time. No one's going to say that. But at the saves that he did have to make,
yeah.
Listen, guys, if
quality,
you're about to click off the video, please don't forget to leave a like. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Our content is a lot better.
It's bad, it's bad.
Our content is a lot better than this, I promise.
This is what United did to us today. But yeah, Romero is my man of the match. 7.
Please don't unsubscribe. The content is much better than this. Please leave a like before you click off the video. Thank you.
Yeah. I think he's not my man. Okay, he is. He's tired for man of the match. Yeah. I think, as Shinny said, he didn't do anything extravagant, but he was very alert, and then he had to make saves. He made saves, and we know he's been hurt in the past with De Gea, so he was very careful, and he had a good game. He had a good game. There was nothing more that he can.
It's his job. He did his job.
Yeah, but we have to praise him for his job.
Yeah, no. If Roy Keane was listening to this podcast, he'd be singing first.
Yeah, so 7.
I mean, according to Roy Keane, the save that De Gea made directly after his mistake against Tottenham was a routine save. So I wonder what he thinks of Romero tonight. But anyways, moving on, Fossa Mensah out of 10. Disappointing, actually. I want to go first with Fossa Mensah.
Really?
I'm going to give him a 4 because I'm disappointed in Fossa Mensah. I really am. I think as a player who I have actually grown to like over the last few weeks, I think I'm really disappointed. Like, he actually played most recently against Crystal Palace and I think it was West Ham as well. I'm not sure if he played against Leicester. I don't think he did. But the point is, he's a player that should be looking to make a step up into the team. He's been out on loan. He's had his injuries. He's had his crappy loans, and he's still got a chance in the team. And I'm disappointed that he couldn't show what he's worth against LASK. I mean, to be fair, a right back can only do so much, right? But still, I'm disappointed. And that's why my rating is so harsh on him.
I agree. I think I was going to give Foster a 4 as well. I think his passing, it didn't link up quick enough. It just looked like he was in half a gear. Do I blame him that much? No, and he still is young. But again, like Marcus said, I also expected more from Foster. I think going forward is a bit
friendly.
Defending, it is just the game like this, you should do things. And he did.
This is basically a preseason friendly. Show the manager why you deserve to be selected in the Carabao Cup next season. Come on, dude.
Look, he wasn't great, but I think he was better than a lot of people, to be honest. And I think going forward, he looked comfortable, but final ball was lacking seriously. He didn't really threaten that much as he was getting in the positions. And defensively, he was a bit whimsy from time to time. So maybe not amazing, but he looks like his potential to be a very good replacement for Wan-Bissaka. I'll give him that. So I'm going to give him a 5.
He gets a 5, but he's got good potential. Guys, it's late. Listen, I apologize again on behalf of the whole Red Devils Africa cast. This is not a reflection of how good our content is. And listen, the game was just dead tonight. Okay, cool. Bailey out of 10. Damn, I even forgot he played today.
I didn't know he was playing, and I think he was literally the only hole that caused us problems today.
That's a nut job, dude.
It's a calamity. That guy's just a calamity waiting to happen. So yeah, I'm gonna give him a 4 as well. Oh my god.
I don't want to call him brainless because I feel like that's just perpetuating negative stereotypes towards people of color. But like,
I don't know, guys.
Yeah.
Please refresh my memory. Maybe I didn't notice. I didn't think he made any mistakes, to be honest. He looked
it's not about making mistakes per se, but it's just about being a nut job and just,
He was very.
So,
oh my god! He gave the ball away in dangerous areas today.
Yes. He has a way to explain
he did that famous spy circles in the
exactly. He gets Shoney's heart rate up. If Shoney's heart rate goes up, he's doing something wrong. That's basically how to explain it. He gets your heart rate up.
Look,
he's on the ball.
Today, as I've said before, he's a good player, but he takes time off. He takes time off the injury to get on it, and I feel like today I saw a step forward because he did do those crazy things, but he looked in control. A lot of the times the last few weeks, he was doing all those things and giving the ball away. So for me, if Bayer can do those things but not give away the ball, I'm good because I don't mind seeing him doing some other turn in the box. But
I'll be honest, I could have put it on a better centre back performance than Bayer today, I guess. I could have pocketed last.
I don't know.
I'm not going to go as far as saying
Bailey.
Look, I'm not going to go as far as saying Bailey is a bad player, but I definitely do think even on his day he's a reckless player, and I don't like the curve turns. Like, he needs to learn how to clear the ball and just kick it away, like, in my opinion. It's all right doing curve turns and getting away with it, but you're going to make a mistake eventually if you insist on chest trapping the ball in defense. Like, it's going to happen. And my problem with Eric Bailey is everything that people have to say that's good about him is irrelevant anyways, because he's going to get injured. And if he takes time to get back to his form after he's being injured, he's going to have the same problem Luke Shaw had 2 or 3 years ago. At least Luke Shaw now, we can trust on him. We can trust him to not play after 3 months and still be decent because he has the IQ and the experience to put himself into a position where he won't be vulnerable because he hasn't played in a few months. Whereas Bailey, Mandem thinks he's the fucking best defender in the world, blood. You could be playing against Liverpool and you'll go into a Van Dijk tackle like he's the best thing since bloody Harry Beckenbauer. And
I guess he needs to calm down. If he does that, it'll improve his career and make sure that it'll cut out the injuries because he's talented. I mean, the ability he has, you can see kind of a Roy Ferdinand there, the tackling, the pace. So if you can just calm down and just do the basics right, he could be a brilliant centre back.
He needs to watch VODs of some of the best defenders of all time and then just have someone like glue his eyes to the screen for like 24 hours and just brainwash him.
And then give him a test at the end of the week.
Yeah, and then at the end of the week, give him a test and be like, okay, so what did Ferdinand do under pressure? Well done, boy, well done. And what are you going to do when you get back out into the field? Well done, boy. Anyways, Captain England out of 10.
I didn't give him a rating. I'm going to give him 6/5.
Oh, sorry. Awkward. Captain England out of 10.
Yes, Captain England. I'm convinced he's never going to not play. Like, I'm just going to put Maguire in my team every week now. I thought this is the one chance. Like, surely this is the one chance. Seriously. But hey, it's done. It's done. Maguire's playing every game from now till he beats United.
So what happened to the hip injury?
Who knows? But you know, I expected him to have an average performance, which he did. But this guy needs to start scoring corners. My God, this little training time they have before next season, Maguire must just stand there and head it in the net. That's all I want.
Listen, I heard if Manchester United had paid 90 mil instead of 80 mil, they would have gotten the heading as part of the package. That's why we didn't get Maguire's aerial abilities, fam. Because we only paid 80 for him.
And you're so good at
All he does is just wins it. He doesn't do anything else. He's just like, smack my face. And
it's
then
like he closes his eyes after he jumps.
It annoys me. Oh my God, it annoys me.
Maybe that's why he's got the nickname Slavid, because he just uses his head as a rebounding person.
I expect better from the captain and what he's known for, you know. So, other than that, I didn't really have any complaints today. I thought Maguire was average, but I'm going to give him a 5. He should have scored those headers. He had 2 chances.
He's an international defender playing against LASK. Of course, he's not going to make any mistakes.
No, something I noticed as well, because he's getting into those chances, those spaces so many times now, and he keeps missing. So it's something.
Yeah, but there's one that came straight to his head, boy. I was like, Bruno couldn't have given you an easier. You didn't even have to jump, boy. You just have to direct it, and he hit it back to where it came from. I'm like, this guy.
Yeah. So if he can work, but the fact that he can get there and he's got the height is a good thing. If he can work and score in them more, it'll be a huge advantage for us, because for a very long time we struggled with set pieces, especially corners. And
it's just ridiculous with Maguire. Like every game, his head touches the ball.
He gets one.
Yeah.
He gets at least 2 or 3 when Bruno's on the field, and you wonder sometimes, like, when is this guy going to score? Because the only goal he scored for Manchester United is a bloody ball outside the box from Tranmere. Yeah, Woldy. And the one against Norwich. For fuck's sake, just score a header, dude.
Yeah.
Jeez, like this guy scores more volleys than he scores headers at United. Imagine.
Dude. But defensively, he was decent. He did everything right. Wasn't under too much pressure, but did everything right. And yeah, he was trying to play like a midfielder, as he always does. So 6.
Interesting. But yeah, 6 is fair. Brandon Williams, I almost forget. Like, I can't believe I remembered Bailey and almost forgot Williams. I swear my brain has a subconscious agenda against Brandon Williams. But anyways, out of 10.
I don't know. I like Brandon Williams, but I don't know. Like today again, I expected a bit more from him, but again, like he's also played quite a few games now as well. So yeah, I just don't know what Brandon Williams. Like obviously he was great before lockdown and before he got injured.
It's just one of them things. He's a young player. I was saying this about Brandon Williams when people were like, "This guy should play over Shaw." What. I was like, okay, wait until he has a bad form. How quickly those question marks will appear.
But yeah, today, you know, just on today's basis, he wasn't that great. So I'm also going to give him a 4.
Look, some people are saying he should be playing on the right. Some people are saying he might not
I
be
agree. I agree with that, because he doesn't have a left foot, guys. That man has 1 foot.
Look, I think he's a brilliant replacement. I think we've got a good player in Shaw. And as backup, I'm good with him, and I hope he stays at the club for a very long time. I think today, defensively, he improved. I think over the last few games, he's been shaky in all parts. But defensively today, I thought he was solid.
Yeah.
Going forward, he wasn't that great, but I think that also has to do with this disjointed setup of the whole team. And I think he was struggling to link up with the players that were there. So I think he was the best defender there. I'm going to say 6.5.
I won't lie to you. My best defender is not going to be him. I'll get to it when we get to the subs, but I'll leave it there. Because my best defender is still coming.
Anyways, McTominay out of 10.
This man, he's like
Dude,
he's
this guy's a
to the
big game
grass.
player. Dude.
Yeah,
I'm telling
this
you.
guy.
I know, but James, this guy's
Hey,
been
McTominay,
since coming back from injury.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah,
But
but no, I genuinely think this guy is quiet against small teams. Like, watch him again. He's going to score another goal against City in the next season. Watch. And it won't be at Old Trafford. It'll be at the Etihad. He's going to score. Bang.
But what I will say about McTominay, he's the one I'm very disappointed in today. Like, I thought him, Fred, Lingard, Mata would be and James would be the shining lights, and he was absolute ass. Head is glued to the grass. That can't pass the ball for anything. You know what? We were down a man. That's how bad I thought McTominay was today. It felt like we were down a man. So I'm going to give him 1 for showing up.
Oh my gosh.
And he played the new kid.
Yeah. I've been defending the new kid, but I sing it on. I have my questions about it. But I think I wonder if it could slightly be a psychological thing as well. Because I feel like when Pogba and Bruno went there, he used to take charge. I remember a game against Arsenal. We drew 1-1.
You look like a captain even.
Yeah, we were playing bad before that game. And in that game, he just ran the whole thing. But since coming from lockdown and injury, he's been quite poor. And today, he would get the ball, but it just couldn't stick. He'd lose it easily. He'd make passes that were going nowhere. And the driving runs down the pitch are gone. You don't see them anymore. So he's been poor, and it was another poor game. I'm going to give him 5.
I think it's a combination of poor fitness and just being out of rhythm. Like, people overestimate confidence. People think because he took charge against Arsenal, that's why he was good. No, fuck that, dude. He was good because he trained and he came back at the right time and he got into form, and he was never getting dropped in that team because Pogba was injured, and we were only getting Bruno in January. Now, this competition, the guy hasn't played in 3 months since lockdown. And then after lockdown, he played 1 game and then sat on the bench since then. And now he's playing against LASK, and the rhythm is completely different, you know? So this is like a preseason friendly for McTominay. Okay, if you want proof of what I'm saying, like, watch preseason friendlies and please tell me, please tell me how your favorite player plays in a preseason friendly compared to an actual Premier League match. I'll wait, you know? Yeah, dude, like... It's one of them things, dude. You need to get your match fitness up. And also, what I would say is there's nothing to play for. I messaged Shonny during the game, and I was like, "You're 5-0 up." Like, I mean, I didn't message. I responded to Shonny's tweet, during the game. I don't know if he saw it, but when he said the game was dead, I was like, "Yeah, but we're 5-0 up, so like these guys have nothing to play for. It's not like they're going to be running their socks off because we need to win, you know. It's very difficult to get up for a game when you're 5-0 up in the first leg and you haven't played any football in 3 months, you know. So, but what?
True, but you're also not helping your place in the team.
Yeah, definitely. But like, that proves my point even more. Like, people think just because you want to play in the team, you're gonna play better. Nah, dude, that's a myth. It's not real. Like, it's not real unless your position in the team is threatened and your wage bill is on the bloody line. It's not real. There's no on button in your head that you can just switch on, like, ooh, beast mode activate because I'm scared Pogba's going to take my place in the team. It doesn't work like that. Plus, he just got a new deal, new contract extension recently. So I don't know. Like, he's got the contract extension. So I don't think that was it. I don't think McTominay didn't play well tonight because he didn't want to be in the team. I think he didn't play well tonight because he hasn't played football in 3 months. Like, it's not rocket science, people. It's not rocket science. You're telling me if I had to give you a United shirt, you'd play well, better than Lingard just because you want to be on the team? Get out. You haven't played football since bloody high school. Get out. Anyways, I apologize for that rant. And nobody cares what I think anyways. Fred, out of 10.
That now. feel like this is an unpopular opinion, but I actually thought Fred was kind of decent today.
Yeah,
I thought
but
he was average.
All I'll
that's
say,
average.
listen,
average.
Shoni, I'll let you finish, but all I'll say is it's LASK. So all you people lubing up Fred like he's the best thing since the bloody, what's that Robinho, that Brazilian player. Listen, it's LASK. But anyways, go on.
Yeah, so I thought Fred was average. I thought, like, he gave what I usually expect from Fred, high energy, quick passing, darting forward. So yeah, I thought Fred did his average Fred performance and got I'm going to give him a 6. I thought him and Lingard, 4 changes, man.
It sounds so bad.
No, with Evans, it was horrible today. But yeah, I thought Lingard and Fred.
These are Manchester United.
It sounds so bad.
Yeah.
This is a contender for player of the season at some point, by the way. I expect high energy from him and good passing.
This is exactly why we also see Jack Grealish. Guys. This is why I can never emphasize it enough. How much Jack Grealish will improve this team.
He has high energy, and that's what I expect of him, and a good pass. I'm sorry. Anyways, what are you giving Fred out of 10 then, Rita?
I disagree. Like, if there was an award for worst player on the pitch, I think him and Daniel must be trying.
No, but
Like,
my thing is, even if he played decent, it's LASK. It doesn't matter. Like, let's just pretend he did play decent. It's LASK. You're supposed to play decent against LASK. Actually, no. Screw that. You're supposed to get a 9 out of 10 against LASK.
Yeah, you guys are supposed to be getting 9s. 7s
Yeah,
at
but
least.
anyways, yeah.
I
Go
felt
on
like
then.
I felt like McTominay at least got on the ball and tried something. I just didn't see what Fred did. He was
I'd
non-existent in the
rather
midfield.
have a dead coffin instead of McTominay today.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he was horrible, but slightly better than Fred, in my opinion. And the midfield, when your midfield's bad, you're going to struggle because you can't hold on to the ball and you can't feed your attackers. I feel like with a better midfield, Dan James might have played better today because he looked a little more comfortable. There was no final ball, but I thought Fred was crap. Yes, he was energetic as always, but I didn't see anything else besides that. So I'm gonna give him a 4.
Anyways, Lingard out of 10.
Nice. I'm not even taking the piss. That goal was also just like, man, he just on the plate. I was like, man,
I
and he
think
nearly
Lingard,
stopped it.
can I just say, speaking of unpopular opinions, I think Lingard was actually better than Fred today. I'm just saying. Because it was LASK. He had so much space. This is Lingard when he has space, by the way. But anyways, go on.
This is not good enough, guys. It's not. I hate to say it because I like Lingard as a person, but goodness, as a footballer,
I wish we had our face down right now because I'd be popping up with that Lingard celebration.
I'm giving Lingard a 6. I really hope we get rid of him and get Jack Grealish. That's all I can say.
Look, I think he was better. But
yeah, I think he was the best midfielder. I'm not gonna lie. Chill us down, yeah?
Not best, but he was playing on the wing actually, I think. If I'm not mistaken.
Wasn't Mata playing on the wing?
No, that was Mata.
Sorry.
I'll get to that guy playing on.
It was Matt. He played so much like a midfield that I thought he was playing in the midfield. But
yeah, dude, I thought Lingard was our best midfield. But anyways, go on.
I thought he got into better spaces today. Yes, final ball, iffy, and I thought he was taking on players more. He did say he wants to rejuvenate himself. He looked a little bit more rejuvenated.
Yeah,
still,
it's LASK. It's LASK. It's LASK.
Hey, bro, all you can play is what's in front of you.
Exactly, and he's what's in front of you. It's LASK.
What's in front of you?
And he scored. The man scored.
Lingard only played well because
Please give Lingard a break. Please give Lingard a break.
I am giving him a break. I'm saying he played well against LASK. Emphasis on the LASK part. He played well against LASK. I said he was the best player in the field today.
Yeah, he took a shot.
Didn't I, guys?
And he hit the defender's leg and he went past the keeper. Yeah, great. Against LASK. Well done, Lingard.
Yeah, didn't
he
we
found his level.
Because
We found his level.
like 60
Dan James would have missed that.
Yeah, because Dan James is crap anyways. But like, yeah, go on. What are you giving Lingard out of 10?
6.5.
Yeah, guys, I like you guys might call me crazy, but if Lingard gets a 6.5, right? If that's a fair rating for Lingard, even though I would have given him a 7, let's just say 6.5 is a fair rating. I think everybody else should be below a 6 then, except maybe one of the attackers. But anyways, oh, Dan James, he played on the left today. Dan James out of 10.
The guy who just runs up, down. Even when Pogba came on, put it on an absolute plate Pogba even
Listen,
he just stood
listen.
and stared. Like, how did you not score?
Listen,
My boy,
listen.
you want
Name,
me to
name Dan James. Occupation, runs in straight lines.
Exactly.
Age 22.
Exactly. And that happened. The one that Brandon Williams, again, he puts it on the line and he didn't put it in. Nah, guys. I'm worried about this kid. I won't lie to you. I'm worried. I'm stressed. I'm actually stressed about this kid. I'm worried about it. I want my 20 mil. That 20 mil could have went to Jack Grealish. I want it back. I won't lie to you. I don't, oh my God. I mean, there's still time for him to learn. But not at United. Don't learn at United. You should have stayed at Swansea, my boy. I won't lie to you. I'm starting to not. Dan James is getting on my team. I won't lie to you. I'll give it James. You know what? I'll give him a 1. He ran. Well done.
I don't know.
Useless. Absolutely.
Look, I think as much as being crap, that pace can come in handy, especially with the team with Liverpool.
Let's go. Where's the pace? Where's the rules pace? I don't see it anymore. I don't see it. It looks like a flip.
This pace nonsense, dude.
Listen. Against teams who open up like Liverpool and Man City, it will come in hand. But look, today.
So you're gonna sub off Sancho for Dan James to get a goal against City?
Look, going to my next point. I don't think he's good on the right, or he's not great on the left either. But I think he looked way more comfortable. And I think what this guy needs to work on is releasing the ball quicker, because he has no skill. He has no skill whatsoever, and he keeps holding on the ball for too long, and it doesn't help him. So if you can learn to get the ball, run with it, and release it quickly and find someone, I think it will improve his game a little. So
yeah, but like taking Sancho off or taking Rashford off for this guy at the Etihad to try to get a goal doesn't sound like a good idea to me.
I know that's fair. That's fair considering his finishing is quite crap.
Good at United. You can't do that, United. We shouldn't be taking.
You can't. Look, I think Dan James could still be a decent bench player, but what do I know? If we loan him out, then we need to buy 2 right wingers at the end of the day. So it is what it is, dude. It is what it is. I don't know what people expected for 15 million. Yeah. But what are you giving him out of 10?
And I felt like the way the team was set up today, it didn't help people like Igalo and James, and I feel like they didn't really play to their strengths. But we can't keep making excuses for him, so I'm gonna give him a 4.
Yeah, he's not a terrible footballer. It's just he needs to learn a few things, and I'd rather have him over Lingard and Pereira, to be honest. But anyways, Igalo out of 10.
Oh my God, I felt Igalo's better every time he made that run, and the tap. You could have had a hat-trick of tap instead, and then Mata couldn't get the pass, James couldn't get the pass, Lingard couldn't get the pass, and I was just, and then Igalo was just there, like he just with the blank face, like, you know what, guys, you're wasting my time actually. Like what am I doing? Like, we're not going to score, guys. You can't beat one man and then I have a tap in. One man, I have a tap in. Got nothing. Igalo
reminded me of Chief today.
Igalo was probably like, you know what, guys. Yeah. Igalo was like, you know what, I love United and things, but maybe I should go back to China, guys. Because at least there I get a tap in. Because this is disgusting. Yeah. But Igalo, again, he didn't affect the game at all. He had 2 shots that I thought he could have done better with. Well, I'm going to give Igalo a 3.
Yeah, he reminded me of Chief today. By the way, that's an inside joke. Only Cares boys will understand. I don't know what to tell you. Anyways, yeah, Rita, what you giving him out of 10?
I didn't think it was horrible, to be honest. Yes, he didn't score, but I feel like he's also a victim of...
Yeah, he was left with it today.
I think he's also a victim of the system, honestly, because I feel like we could play more to this guy's strengths. I feel like if we play more goals over the top, it would really help him, because he's that type of striker. You need to play him as a target man, and we don't do that enough. So it hinders him. And I think this guy's hold-up play is really, really good. And I think if we can try to play off him a bit more and play to those strengths, he'd be a better player. But I guess there's no excuse. So I'm going to give him a 5.
Interesting. This is probably the most interesting one and the one I've been waiting for, the one that's been keeping me awake. My eyes have been very heavy this entire show, but Mata, out of 10.
Now, you know what? I'm going to let Malot go first.
It's this guy can't run. After 30 yards,
because I'm very interested. I think Moloto is the guy who would interest me in this race. So
yeah, I think I'm gonna be the Ricky of this channel today.
He's done. I don't want to hear it. Mata's done, dude. It's LASK. It's LASK, Ritter. It's LASK. It's LASK. It's LASK, Ritter. Whatever
Look,
you
you know-
say, it's LASK. Remember, it's LASK. I told you it's LASK, nah? Okay. You understand it's LASK. Let's hear.
He wasn't perfect, and obviously, I agree with you. One matter is done in Manchester United, but
Okay.
but I
Thanks.
think his positioning was really, really good today. And I think he got into a lot of good spaces. I think he was the most creative out of any player on the pitch. But I do think his final ball did like a lot. I mean, there was one chance where he just had to cross it for Igalo, and he
Yeah.
did some other thing. So I think that was lacking. But position-wise, he was everywhere. He was doing everything. And in the second half, he was involved in both goals. And both those passes are the kinds of passes you tend to see from Bruno Fernandes. Like those Ivan Nilo passes, no one else on the pitch could do what Juan Mata did there. So
You should have played in the 10, probably, to be honest. But
I
anyways.
wanted, yeah, that's when I predicted the 11. The 11
It's
last
weird.
in the group. I
It's
wanted him
weird.
to be in the 10.
What I've noticed with Juan Mata, when he plays in the 10 and he has to stick in that position, for some reason he struggles. But when he has the freedom to drift to the right, into the midfield, and into other positions, he seems to be better. So, look, for me, he wasn't perfect, but he was tight in the match. So I'm going to give him a 7.
But it's not even about like where you start your position, right? Like okay, if you play in the 10 in a good team, you're going to move around anyways. Like how many times have we watched
Like
Bruno
Bruno,
Fernandes drop
yeah,
deep?
with Bruno,
Yeah,
he'll
like
the
so for
striker,
me
he'll
with
be
Mata,
CDM,
Mata
centre
should
back.
play 10. That doesn't mean Mata's going to stay in the middle throughout the whole game, but he should play 10. There shouldn't
I
be
hear
anyone. There shouldn't be a Lingard, occupying space
I hear
where
you.
he should be playing. So
I'm
but
just saying
yeah,
what,
I agree
what I've
with you.
seen him do.
No, you're 100% right, but like I think that's the whole point of a 10, I think 10s do good number 10s like Bruno do move around. Like forget what the coach said, dude. Me, I'm gonna take charge of this game and I'm gonna drop deep when I need to.
Yeah.
Career mode vibes. But anyways, I digress. What you going with then, Shawnee?
Oof. Now you see, this is going to be controversial to what Molota said because those through the needle passes. I'll be honest with you. I think if I put a brick there and I smacked the ball off the brick, I would have gotten the ball back in a position to score. And on paper today, he got 2 assists, so I'm going to give him a 2 because other than that, that man was dead. He was dead.
He dashes
Oh,
for
lads.
30 yards and then he's huffing
Oh
and
my
puffing like a bloody.
I can't. Like yeah. Oh my god. Like today was sad. Like Mata, he was an amazing footballer. Again a legend of the game, but he's done. It's sad to say, but everyone comes to that point in their career. And yeah, Mata's done. He's actually done. So
He
yeah.
can't play.
I think-
He can't even play 30 minutes anymore.
I think he's done at United, but if he moved to like a slower league, I think he could be great
If
because
he goes to like America, the MLS or something, yeah.
not even. I think you'd be good in Serie A, like an Atalanta or something, because I think the technical side is still there, especially that second goal. No one else on the pitch. Just Lingard's not doing what he did with Martial. So
The problem
Yeah.
with Mata though is after 130-yard dash, he's tired. He needs to go to the recovery room and sit in an ice bath after one sprint.
I'm telling you, I think Oli
So
could
I
have given
think he's-
more pace to that game than Man.
Yeah,
than
I
Mata.
think. Look, I have to agree with Sean. I think in the MLS he'd be decent, but like I don't know if I disrespect the Serie A that much. I think Mata genuinely. Pella, okay. If you think Mata's going to be good in the Serie A, right? You telling me, right, that LASK is better than the teams in the Serie A? Because he played against LASK today, and he was done against LASK. So
No.
you're telling me against the quality of side in the Serie A. I understand that in a better shape, in a team that's built for
Yeah.
him, you'd obviously play better. But I'm talking about his fitness and the fact that after 30 yards, a 30-yard sprint to get on the end of a ball, this guy looks like he needs a bloody holiday.
The oxygen mask. That's what he needs.
Yeah, he needs an oxygen mask. And that's my thing with Mata. It's not a question of quality. Quality-wise, Juan Mata can come on for bloody Juventus and do a job in the last 10 minutes.
It's like Rooney. Like Rooney will never lose a
Yeah.
free kick technique or
Yeah,
pass
he really
across
knows
the
how
whole
to take a
field.
free kick, dog, whether he's 40 or he's 29. But the point is, can Rooney run across the field and stay fit for 45 minutes? I don't think so, and neither can Juan Mata. I don't just disrespect the Serie A that much that I
don't
think
know.
Mata would all of a sudden.
I
Pella,
think
he was done today. LASK is a slow team. He was done today.
I don't think he's a 90-minute player, but I think he can do a job for like 50 minutes, in my opinion.
50, that's pushing it. I think like half an hour. This guy's done. I think you bring him on for the last half an hour. I'm being dead. You don't know. I don't know. Let me stop pissing off the Mata fans. And I like Mata, by the way. But
Yeah, no,
anyways.
yeah, I think we all like Mata.
Yeah, he's the father
Hey,
of the
hey,
project.
Zwes.
Man, it was
Yeah, that's what I said. I gave him 2.
But
One for each.
it's LASK. But it's let me stop. Are you gonna give anyone off the bench a
Yes,
rating?
yes. Pogba, Martial, Chong, who was my best
He was on
defender
for like 5 minutes.
at left back. Chong at left, guys. Chong at left back, guys. You know what? Maybe defensively again, it's against LASK. He's taking the piss. But you know, I seen my boy perform today. So yeah, Pogba, Martial, Chong, and Andreas. I'm giving them 7s. I won't lie to you. I thought that when they came on, it looked I could do it. Andreas looked like Brazilian for once. Chong looked the best I've seen him in a United shirt at left back. He's a right winger, but he's playing left back. And Pogba and Martial are just cheat codes. So yeah, I'm giving those guys a 7.
I wonder when was the last time I heard this. Was it against Astana when he dribbled 3 players at the corner? Has he found his level? Anyways.
Yeah, that's a shame. Yeah, look, Pereira, he looked bright, but he wasn't great. I thought he was a bit greedy from time to time. It was a try hard. Pogba and Martial.
Try hard.
This game, like, show me why you must be there instead of Lingard.
I know, bro. I'm good at Chong. Pogba and Martial is what you expect. And Chong, yeah, maybe Ole's trying something new, and maybe he can fit there because clearly, I don't know. I don't know if he's good enough to be part of the first team setup as a winger.
Because he was a right winger, and now we played left back.
Yeah, no. If they can find something, if they can find something, and going forward he can improve himself and find his position, then kudos. But in terms of him being a winger, I don't know, especially at this level.
I don't want to give my opinion on Chong because I feel like people are gonna hate me already more than they already do. But anyways, yeah. Anyways, one last thing before we get off the show. Pereira and Lingard, one of them has to leave. Which one you kicking out?
Kicking Lingard out.
Greta?
Yeah, no question, definitely Lingard.
Yo.
27.
Guys, that was rough. That was rough. I was hoping for some flavor, some spice. These guys went straight for the boot. Yeah.
No question. I won't even look twice.
Yeah, I would just like. I don't even think speaking about all these words.
Look at it logically. You know, he's 27. He'll bring you market value, so he could even sell for something at least. So yeah, I'm selling Lingard, and because I saw it, Mark was talking about it, and I hope Mark's theory is not right, but he said Lingard stays and we don't get Jack Grealish, and I'll kill myself. I won't lie to you. I'm tie a rope. I'm gonna hang myself because Jack Grealish is maybe 100 times better than Lingard. Not even. Let me not disrespect Jack Grealish. Maybe 1,000,000 times better.
But guys. Hardy, I don't know how to tell you this. I'm not even going to do the whole Mystic Marcus routine because I don't need to be a mystic to tell you this.
Yeah, no one has to be
United are not spending 80 million on Grealish. It's not happening. Like, you can rub a lamp 3 times, you can throw a horseshoe over your left shoulder, you can go to church and pray, you can bomb a church. It's not happening.
So unfortunate.
It's cool, but
unless we don't sign Sancho, we're not getting. I don't think we're getting Grealish at that price. They need to lower their price. That's all I'll say.
Ed must know he's risking us fighting for top 4 again if he doesn't get at least a replacement for Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba.
Obviously, but I think people. So when people hear the thing that Mark Goldbridge said, and this is the last thing I'll say on the show to keep it brief. They want to respond with what they want to hear and what they want to believe rather than the reality. Like, Edward Wood doesn't care what you think. If he thinks giving Lingard a contract extension is a good idea, then he thinks it's a good idea. Nothing any one of us on this show says will make that any different. Will make that decision any different. Edward Wood is not spending 160 million on 2 players without at least selling someone for 80 million quid. To create that net spend gap. You want proof? Go look at Manchester United's transfer history.
Ideally, if you had to sell Smalling, Lingard, Rojo, Jones, so that's 4. You could probably get 60 if you're lucky.
The funny thing is, right? Sanchez might be leaving for free to go to Inter Milan.
Yeah, I didn't include
Roma. Roma can't really afford Smalling. So unless a team like
I think with
Juve-
Smalling it'll be easier because I think his performances.
No, it will be. It's easier to see Smalling leaving, yes, but in this market, nobody's paying 20 or 15 million for Smalling unless it's a team like Juventus. So you can already cut Smalling's price down to like 10 million quid, unless they pay 20 or 30 mil or 40 mil in installments, which is another story entirely. If they paid in installments, then this whole conversation becomes irrelevant, because if the money's being paid in installments over 2 seasons, they can't use that for Grealish anyways. So what are you going to tell Aston Villa? Listen, we're waiting for our transfer for Smalling to go through, and then we'll pay the rest of the Grealish money 3 seasons from now. No, it's not going to work like that. So a team's not going to pay 30 to 40 million for Smalling in this market. I'm sorry to bust your bubble, but it's not going to happen unless it's a team like Juve or Barca or Madrid, and those teams aren't looking at a player like Smalling. Smalling was at Roma, not Juventus. Remember that.
I'm starting to think we should bring Smalling back, to be honest, because we need a centre back. Maguire plays way too many games, and he can solve the problem.
Everybody wants Smalling to come back, but the reality is Smalling left because he wanted first-team football. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can't guarantee Chris Smalling football because he's not a left-footed centre-back. In other words, he can't. So he's not the solution to the left-sided centre-back problem, not necessarily. Even though some people think he'd be good enough, that's not what Manchester United are looking for. If you look at who we've actually been linked with, like Gabriel is actually a left-sided centre-back. That's number one.
If we're going to sign, it's perfect. But I don't trust this club to do that, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I'm just explaining my point. Like, everybody wants Smalling to stay, but I'm telling you why that's not going to happen. Number one, he's not a left-sided centre-back, and he doesn't fit the profile of what Manchester United are actually looking for in the market. Number two, he wants first-team football, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can't guarantee him that, so he's not going to want to stay. You want proof? He left and he went to Roma for a season. He'd rather play in the Italian league than be on the bench for Manchester United. That's number two. And number three is that I think the competition for places on the right side is it's too much. So I don't see Smalling. He's going to come. I think he's already returning this week, by the way, from his loan. But I don't see Smalling staying at Old Trafford with a smile on his face and being guaranteed first-team football. I think Smalling will be forced to stay because I don't think anybody is going to buy him, at least not yet. But we'll just have to wait and see. That's my honest opinion of what's going to happen with Chris Smalling. It's actually I wouldn't even call it an opinion, because based on the evidence, you have to assume that, like, any logical person knows that Chris Smalling wants first-team football. Like, it's not an opinion. He actually said he went to Roma because he wanted first-team football. Like, that's why he went to Roma. So it's fact. It's not opinion. So I don't see a world in which Chris Smalling stays unless Ole Gunnar Solskjaer legit plays him over Lindelof. Period. And I don't know if that's going to happen. So we'll just have to wait and see. And also with Lingard, I don't see who's going to sign him in this market. So United have either got to let Lingard go for free or give him a contract extension. Now, if you give Lingard a contract extension, why would you still pay 80 million for Grealish? I'm just saying, guys. I hate to bust your bubble, but
I'd pay him to leave.
Yeah, I'd pay him to leave.
40 million plus Lingard. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your evening. Don't forget to leave a like on the video. Please do subscribe. And it's been your boy Triple M, Shawnee325, and Rita. Peace out.